Welcome back into the booth. Daniel Gilman here after a doubleheader sweep for GGC over Bryan College. I'm here with the Grizzly of the day, Alexis Eisenberg. Congratulations, Alexis. How did it feel to go out there and spin that complete game shutout in your first game of the year?
It was just an awesome experience.
When did you find out that you were going to start today?
Right after the second game, coach was like, hey, you and Piper go warm up. And then she was like, walked over there and she's like, hey, y'all come here. And she's like, you're starting. And I was like, oh, okay. So just right before the game.
Do you still have the butterflies? You know, this is only your second season. It's the first start, only your third start as a Grizzly.
This time I was more settled in. It's been a long road to get here and have this opportunity. So I just kind of settled in. I was like, all right, you've been working hard. So let's make it work.
And coming into the season, you guys ranked 7th in the preseason, and now you've gotten a couple of games under your belt. Do you feel a little bit more comfortable going into the rest of the weekend?
For sure. I mean, I always have complete confidence in this team.
And which pitches did you think you felt most comfortable with going into today?
Definitely my fastball, my drop ball.
With the 2 wins today, 4-2 on a comeback victory, let's take a look at some of the highlights. Early on, it was the go-ahead single and then double by Sydney Wilhite there over the right fielder Hewling's head after the single by Rossetti, which gave GGC the win for good in the first game, 4-2 on the Taylor Hansis gem after a nice play by Rossetti down there in right field. Raekwyn was really on today.
Yes, she was.
And then how did it feel defensively to have your team behind you? Because, 12 ground outs, there was an error early on, but a couple really nice plays by shortstop Brewster.
Definitely, it's a feeling like no other. It's like you're going to war out there and you have your many little soldiers all behind you just doing their job, and it's just an awesome feeling. It makes my job easier just to get on the mound and throw the ball because I have trust in them that they're going to do their job.
And then going into it offensively, the trust as we watch the highlights go on, they kept piling runs. 4 runs in the second inning, 4 runs in the third inning. Do you feel more comfortable going back out there in the circle when you know your team has put runs on the board?
Absolutely. It's more of a relaxed approach. It's more of hey, just get out here and do your job. They're doing their job, and it's just more of a relaxed.
When there is a pitcher's duel, however, we saw in the first game there was a pitcher's duel, and you kind of see Taylor really get settled in. Do you feel more into a game when it's a pitcher's duel, or would you rather it be 8-0?
I'd rather it be a pitcher's duel for sure. I mean, we work hard to go to war, like I said, battle. So it's that pitcher's duel. You kind of get in the same zone that you would get in if it was 8-0. It's that relaxed, you finally find your zone and you just go at it. And Taylor's awesome at that. She gets in her zone and she just goes at it.
When you're in the circle and you see a couple pitchers warm up, we saw that in the middle of the game. Do you ever look at that and realize you really have to kind of hunker down and start to shut down the opposing team?
No, just because we always have somebody ready, just because you never know what could happen. I could go down and we need somebody ready. So it's easy. I've been in that role. So I've been one of the pitchers that's warming up in between the games, and our job's just to be ready. So I don't even pay attention to that.
Early on, we saw the illegal pitching call, and it was, removed from the game or the inning-ending ground out. How did you have to compose yourself after that? There was a single and a walk, and then you had 2 on and 2 out of nowhere.
I had to take a deep breath. I took a second, and I was like, all right, you're not going to let this define you. You're not about to go downhill right here. I was like, all right, it's just a foot. Put it on the rubber. So I just had to take a deep breath, and my third baseman came and talked to me. She was like, all right, Lex, come on, snap back out of it. And so you just have to take a moment and just be like, all right, don't let it bring you down.
Anya wasn't the catcher last year. Now she's, taken over behind the plate. What does she say to you to kind of settle you down? Because, a new face behind there can always be interesting.
Anya is my absolute best friend. So as far as the catcher goes, if I had to pick a catcher, I'm picking Anya. She just there's an unknown communication. Anya can just look at me and I'm ready to go. But the biggest thing is she's just you and me, Lex. It's just you and me. And so I always lock in on her and just go to work with her.
Your first shutout, your second win as a Grizzly, and only your third start. Now coming into it, who would you want to give any shout outs to?
I would just want to give a shout out to my grandparents watching, Anya for sure, Nikki Cook, my parents, my whole entire team, my coaches. Yeah.
How does this build the confidence heading into your next start?
It's just a little bit more relaxed. It's kind of hey, my coaches can put some trust in me, my teammates can put some trust in me, and I can actually put some trust in myself knowing hey, you've gone out there and did it.
Our Grizzly of the day, everything was working for Alexis Eisenberg today. A complete game shutout in the 5-inning 9-0 win for GGC as they head into tomorrow's Day 2 of the Grizzly Classic, now 4-0 on the season.